Evening, everyone. Welcome to another night of Fast Track Freedom training. Again, like normal, we've got an action-packed call. We're going to start off with some mindset and some practical stuff about how to master a skill. It's something that all of us are, in different stages on the call, but we've all got the same aim, and that's to be a funded trader. So we'll start off, like I said, with some mindset, some practical stuff, and then we're going to do some chart analysis, literally a run through of how we are going to trade to be able to achieve trader status. It is within all of you, absolutely all of you. So I asked before I started the call about what your goals are from trading. I've just letting one more into the room. Just wait for her to join. Amazing. Okay, cool. So a lot of the goals that you guys have put. Fiona, welcome to the call. I've just asked everyone to put their goal in the chat. So from trading or bigger than that, what's one of your big things that you want to achieve? Most people have put mainly to do with freedom, freedom of time, to be in control, like to take the power back. That's what I wanted to, and thankfully I've now been able to achieve it with this platform. So just drop in what your target is with freedom, self-confidence. Amazing. Okay, so growth, personal growth, as well as freedom. Amazing. All right, I'm going to jump straight into the mindset. Now, the reason why I'm big on this, just to recap with all of you, it was drummed into me as soon as I started, and I really didn't connect the dots. As all of you know, I wasn't really one of these people that did personal development, or I was just sort of floating through life. And when it was kind of very much about mindset and all this stuff, I didn't get it. Like, you all know that. I've said it many times. But going through what I've been through now in the academy, it is the most vital thing. When you learn the skill's easy. It's then how do you execute that? What are you going to do to stand in your way? I read this thing recently about sabotaging thoughts, where you can not feel worthy of making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand a month, and then by like subliminal action you'll sabotage your success. So you've got to work on yourself to be able to get the best out of this opportunity, absolutely, without doubt. So what have we talked about before? The basics. Got a common sort of ratio that trading is 90% mindset. Some people disagree and they say 85-15 or whatever, but the main sort of concept of all of this: can you execute the skill over and over and over again? And if you can't, why? What is it that stops? What we're going to talk about mainly tonight, though, is about how to master the skill, because most of you are in that learning phase. I'm still in the learning phase. I'm learning something really advanced now, and I'm back to all these things. Like, how did I do it before? What was I doing? So we talked about, who do you listen to? So listen to people who have what you want, whether that's if you want a funded account, or listen to someone who's got one. Listen to an expert on trading, where we've got Annie. We've got a platform. We've talked about your coachability. How coachable are you? How much effort are you willing to put in? How much time? What sacrifices are you willing to make? And there's the 10 out of 10 for your willingness to learn, your willingness to change, and that gives you a score. 100, 10 out of 10 on both is the perfect student. You're willing to give everything, and you would change anything to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And what we're going to talk about tonight, though, is, so I hear this a lot, and I was taught this when I was in like corporate world, which is having a balance. Like, has anyone heard that, like, from work, like, work-life balance and all that? It's kind of drummed into us that it's good for us to have a really good share of personal time and work time. But when it comes to learning a new skill, because that's what we're talking about, we're learning how to trade. When it comes to a new skill, there isn't a balance. In my opinion, for you to master this new skill, it's like a new language. You've got to be obsessed. You've got to be so driven, so determined that you're going to watch these videos over and over. You're going to show up to these calls. You're going to practice on the charts. You know, you might not even know yet what the procedure is to actually achieve mastering the skill, like, because it's new to you. So you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes you're just putting your faith in what's worked for other people. But I tell you one thing, like the how, we've already got some of that nailed. Watch the videos, follow the plan, practice, get on a demo. You know, we've already got some of the step-by-step functions of how to get from A to B. Okay. But for some of you, you might require different things, but you don't know what it is yet. You haven't got through the videos. You might have to practice a certain element more than I had to, or more than Fiona had to, or Seneth might have had to do something completely differently to what Chloe and Tony are doing. Who knows? So the most important thing when you're learning, and actually I'm gonna David Goggins, if you're watching that and you log in, his stuff talks about this a lot, but it's all about your thoughts. It's all about the way you think. So when I say to people, and I've said to all of you on this call and in the team much, is that you need to spend 90 seconds a day imagining that you are a funded trader and how that would make you feel. It's so important, because if your goal is big, now everyone that put their goals in the chat, you know, you want to achieve control, freedom, self-confidence. That was one of my big things too. Like, to be able to take your family wherever you want, no pressure. What that tells me is that you haven't got that. So you need to imagine it first. But honestly, you need to spend 90 seconds, not a long time, but just like, what would that feel like? And that is what I want you to hone in on. Spend time thinking about how amazing it would feel. And the how doesn't matter. How are you going to get there? Irrelevant, because we've got the system. The system works. It's produced funded traders. It's there. It works. It's a machine. What's next is down to you. Like, are you going to be able to pull it off? And you'll be tested. My goodness, you will be tested. Whether that's losing on a trade, losing on a number of trades, losing on too many trades, you know, the world's against me. It doesn't matter what your test is. It could be a physical, I failed the test. Well, I failed 2 before I got funded. But it didn't make me stop. It made me hungrier, because I just kept thinking, when I get funded, I'm going to have all this time. I'm going to have no answers to anyone. I haven't got to wake up to an alarm clock if I don't want to. I haven't got to go into work for 9 and have my lunch at 12 and then leave at 5. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was motivating me so much. It wasn't, I need to do fibs again. It was the thoughts of actually making this happen that kept me going. My goals are so big that I could not give up on them. All right, is that message sort of landing with anyone? I hope that's given you, if any of you are having a wobble, that is absolutely normal. Remember the 4 steps. You've got the 4 mindset phases. Excitement, self-doubt, it creeps in all the time. Self-doubt is your killer of dreams. That is the earliest test you'll get in this process. Oh my God, I don't understand this. I don't know what pips are. I didn't understand pips when I first started. Didn't understand support and resistance. I was constantly thinking, are you ever going to understand this? Like, honestly, I was like, am I ever going to, like, fast forward a year and I've now got 20 odd people in my team, and I'm, you know, it's a very different story. But we're all going to be tested in different ways. I'm glad, cool. I'm glad that's landed. I'm really, really glad. So I want to talk about the actions, so the how, a little bit more. So that's all about what you do. We've talked about having a schedule. So when are you going to watch the videos? Like, I know someone in the team that couldn't make tonight's call because they've been at it all day on videos. So no drama. But I know that they are waking up before they start work and doing investing their time in their future before they do anything else. So they're getting stuff done before they do their day job. Like, schedule it in. Schedule in your success. It should be, I'm going to have a look at trading now. It should be every night, this time, or whatever your schedule is. You have to be religious. It's got to be every single day. Every day, at least an hour. What are you going to do? We've got the strategy. We've got the system. I mentioned that. We've got the plan. We've got all the steps. The actions are kind of taking care of you, care for you. I don't know why I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean. The actions are kind of there for you to follow. But if we're not concentrating on, like, this is going to make me feel amazing. Like, if I can pass this test and get my first withdrawal, like, huge shout out to a chap on this call who's due his first one this week. Like, that changes the game forever. Like, as soon as that money lands, wow, like your dreams, your goals were minded, just went next level. You know, they're already pretty big to start with. I was thinking pretty quickly, wow, my life is going to change. And I said before 2021 is going to change my life forever. And I promise you, my life has forever changed for the better. 2022 is going to be another step forward. And it's just about having that sort of absolute passion and fire in your belly to make this work. And you'll only get that by thinking about you already having it. Sunef's waving at us. Good man. Good man. I want to talk to you as well about, I don't know, I can only relate this to sport because it's where I've experienced it away from this type of environment. So when I was playing football back in the day, we had a coach, like the best coach I played for, and 10 minutes before we were about to go out to warm up, he would sit us all down and we would all be sat in the changing rooms and it was quiet. Like, no one talking, no one messing around, it was deadly quiet, and all we could hear was him. And he told us to visualize our first challenge, win the first challenge, make your first touch. He would tell us to think fully about our first experience, about what we're going to do in the game. And we're going to get off to a flying start. Like, everything, all the plans, he was telling us to visualize. Same thing. It's the same thing. So when you're approaching the chart, you know, if you've had an absolute stinker of a day, it's probably not the best mindset for you to go and start trying to trade with money, you know what I mean? Make money. Because the way you're approaching the chart needs to be the same every time. It needs to be the same, roughly the same kind of times a day till you've, you know, mastered your set. But that routine, that's going to save you. All right, wicked. Right. So that's what I'm going to do on mindset. I think that's quite important. We've got, who do you listen to? Just to recap, listen to people who have what you want. Number two, are you coachable? If someone says to you, do this, and they have what you want, and you think better, then you're not coachable. All right, that could be anyone. You could be asking other people in our groups, out of our groups, whatever it may be. Be coachable at all times. And then your thoughts are more important than the how, your action. Your thoughts are way more important. So visualize yourself 90 seconds a day. Really, I was thinking about being funded at every moment I had. Like, the freedom it was going to give me, it used to give me chills at the back of my neck. I used to go on my runs and just think, I'm going to be funded. I can do this. Yeah, cool. Right, any questions before I move on? Because I'm going to get into the charts, because that's what we're going to get into the functionality of trading. Any questions on what we've talked about so far, please, in the chat box. I am going to start. It's ready. Tony, you absolute legend. You are what you think about. Yeah, you become what you think about most of the time. I don't know if any of you have heard that. You become what you think about most of the time. Right, let me share my screen. Let's get down to business. So I put a message in our group last week about normalizing losing. I lost twice last week on this pair. And I kind of had an inkling. Didn't stop here, which is where I went in first time, 618. It didn't stop here, which is the 786. I thought it was going to be an equal high, which is this. That's the 786 on a larger time frame. Sorry, from the first swing. It's going to hit it again. And look, it's now broken my correction, my line. I might look for an entry if it pulls back up to this area. But losing is absolutely normal. If you're making 50, 60, 70% wins, you're doing better than most, especially anything over 50%. And with the risk reward that we talk about, 1 to 3 minimum, then you're going to be winning. You're going to be up every time. So losing is just your next step closer to winning. You have to take the losses to make the wins. Phil explained it really well, like it's a business expense. Every business has a cost. And one of our costs is, we have to enter trades. Sometimes they lose, that costs us money. Really good way. There's loads of different ways you can sort of figure it out, but you are going to lose. So you've got to get used to it. I'm going to talk about every single loss that I take because I think it's really important. So let's start GBPCHF. And then what we'll do is we'll look into setting up a trade. Okay, so I drew this up, not using the scanner. So I've connected, you can see here that the market was bullish. It was going up quite nicely in this section here. And then here it failed to break this high and then started dropping and knocking out these lows. Also broke the trend line here. Let me zoom in. We have this really nice fast action to break the lows. Underneath and retest. Then we go into a large correction. Bang, we have hit number 1. We drop, we break the lows here. Nice. Okay, and then it's making its lovely way back up. Okay, it didn't stop at the trend line. Trends aren't just lines. This came back to a lovely 786, 127 area where that yellow box is, dropped, broke the low. Now I was tracking, this was the second hit, I was tracking the correction. Get a little closer. So I'm thinking, right, let's have a look. This structure level here was the 618. So we had touches, 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 a little stop plant, break, touches, 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 touches. A good area of resistance. So I thought, look, if this swings underneath, it's a PRZ zone. Bosh, PRZ is price reversal zone. And I thought, right, let's get in. So let me drop down to the hour. Okay, so the first thing we look at in our strategy. So we've got good fib levels. We've got 618. Do we have any divergence? So we have some hidden divergence. So between this swing and this swing, here to here, we had kind of flat from here. Okay, I was tracking that further up. But not the cleanest for divergence, but really good fib levels. We've got down, it's slightly going up. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so get it right on the peak. And then we've got it going down. So that green line's pointing down. And that wick is slightly higher than that wick. You see it stepped up the DC channel. So a little bit, clutching the straws a little bit. I want it a bit more obvious, but it is present. We've already worked out the structure. That's a given. We're looking at a third hit, downtrend. The lows have been knocked out continuously with the other touches on the trends. So absolutely all good. So now on the hour, all we're looking at on the hour is, so we are here. We are here. Is the DC channel touching? Is the candle touching the DC channel, the wick or the candle? Bosh. Right, let's put in a vertical line. Boom. Let's drop to the 15-minute. So I said in the message last week, over and over and over again, I'd have taken this trade. So I'm going to show you why. Okay. So we had the DC channel hit on the hour. We're now on the 15-minute looking for entry. That's all we do on the 15-minute. So we're looking for our confirmation candle first, which is when we're selling a flat top, red candle, and the blue line cutting through the middle. So that's the first one there. So I'll move this to the candle to the left. So we're looking at this candle at 14.15. So we've got a flat top. We have a closing below the 4 and the 20, but only needs to be the 4. We have a red bar on the AO here. We have the red on top of the blue on the stotch. We have red above the blue on the DMI. And I got caught out. When I wasn't zoomed in, that looks like it's touching the 40, the black line. You zoom in, it's at like 39.38, not above the 40. So that isn't our confirmation candle. We need to wait. Then spiked up. We then got another one here. See this one? So that could have caught you out. Okay, because the DMI wasn't above. It wasn't above. We have a flat top, but we've got red, but the DMI is not right. So we move on. Okay, we have red, flat top, closing. We've actually got the cross over here as well. So we've got the first and second entry happening at the same time. It's nice. And then the DMI at last is ready. It's above. So we're entering on this candle. So we draw up from the wick, the bottom of the wick to the top of the body. This is your entry candle zone. Draw a box basically of that whole candle. This is the zone that is safe to enter. Right, this is the zone that is safe to enter. We had a first and second entry, so I put in 2%, 2 trades. I just bottled it all together, put it all in one. Yeah, what happened? It dropped, dropped. We had the third entry. I didn't take, I missed it. I think. Hold on. No, I missed the first and second. I took the third entry. So because it was still in the entry candle zone, or very close, I took my entry around here. It was like 635. Yeah, it was around here. Third entry. Roughly there. So my stop loss above the high. And then I was aiming for the low. That's miles down. So I'm just talking about the entry. Okay, start doing this thing. Happy days. Happy days. Then we had this huge drop off, and I was like, here we go again. We're in the money. Chris needs to retire. Happy days. What I'm looking at as well, like this is getting a little advanced, but you know, it's necessary. If you look on the higher time frame, I was tracking the correction. I tried to do my wave count, which you'll learn if you start doing Elliott waves. There's quite a clear flag pattern here. So we've got the pole coming in, and then it's moving up in this channel, few spikes to the low. All right, that shows me that it wants to go down. So that's a bearish pattern. And with this move here, you see it broke the flag. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Life's good. I'm happy. I can't wait to see what happens next, how far it's going to drop overnight or whatever. And I thought, yeah, it's probably going to pull back and test the outside of the box of the flag and then drop again. Happy days. I was doing my fib levels and it was like around a 618 from memory. Let's have a look. So we go from the top to the bottom. Yeah, look, the flag retest would have been around the 50 to the 618. So hunky dory, no drama, but it just didn't stop. Up, went back into profit, hit my stop loss. All right, that kind of sucks. Never mind, on to the next one. So I've lost one. I'm like, okay, well maybe look, it's broken that flag. I could see it was starting to form like a leading diagonal. Which again, these are just shapes that you need to learn about corrections. Luke's in the waiting room. It's probably been there ages. Sorry, Luke. Cool. It's starting to make a leading diagonal. Yeah, this is squeezing in, this is squeezing in, it's running out of room, and it breaks to the low. Where did I come in second time around? So I was waiting for this to finish. It's normally a 5 waves. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so I'm here thinking this is hit structure, which is 786. We have, again, that's kind of level, that's going up, a little bit of divergence, nothing to really write home about. I'm thinking, right, when this drops off this level, we're still in a downtrend. It's got to be done now. We've had the DC channel hit, so right, I went in again. DC channel hit there, down to the 15. Break of the line. I'm like, right, we're good to go again. Bosh. Here's our confirmation candle. So we've got a flat top. We've got red. Let me move this to the one next to it. So we've got a red bar on the AO. We've got red above blue on the Stotch. Red above blue on the DMI. And the DMI ADX is above 40. That is your entry every single day of the week. That's your entry candle zone. Everything's good in the hood. You get the first, second, third entry all in a row. Everyone is loving life. It drops off nicely. I was thinking it needs to break this structure for me to be fully happy. It kind of wicked it, bounced back, but the 20 and 50 crossed. If any of you know me and my McGinleys, I'm watching them. You know, for these things to happen. And then it just took off again. So I had my stop loss above the high, and it literally just punched me and then started dropping. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get it again. But I didn't. I go in twice. If it loses twice, then you know, I'll wait for something significant to tell me to trade it. I lost again. So I lost here and I lost here. Cool. That's why I put in the chat, losing, I would have absolutely entered that trade every single day of the week. You did the same for you, yeah? Yeah. Happens. Like the strategy triggered, everything we did was correct. This was just the one that wasn't meant to win. If you can risk manage, then losing is part of the game. You know, it's just something that we need to talk about all the time. Everyone goes on about, I made 10%, or you know, the good trades, they are the ones that obviously celebrate, etc. But losing is part of the game. So bosh, it lost again. It started triggering again. I was like, no, I'm done, out, happy days. It went back up, so I would have lost again. It's gone back, and now it's broken the flag again, and I'm waiting for a structure reversal. So I'm looking for lows, these lows to keep being taken out, structure to be broken, the swing underneath, good fib level, and I might take it if there's divergence and it's absolutely perfect. It's got a long way to fall. Look, long way to fall. Like 200 and more. Fiona, I'm looking at it touches the DC channel up here on the hour. So as long as it touched up here, yeah, obviously your entry, like you're talking about re-entry, yeah? So re-entry is a little bit different. So as long as it touches the DC channel up here, what we're looking for is that swing underneath. It's a break the flag. And it'll probably bounce off the cloud. So the McGinley cloud, that's kind of your structure then. And that's second video to it. Trend lines, it was going up. No, they're not a trend line, so that's the correction. So that is a flag correction. So the market does two things. It impulses and corrects. Even when it's going sideways, it's correcting. So let me come over to something I think. All right, so the market's either doing one of two things. Either going, it's either impulsing. In an uptrend, this is your impulse. Next one, that is your correction. Okay, the correction, look like this, flag correction. So the market would have gone like making its way up. And then that's not very neat. That's annoying. A minute. And then it would start doing this sort of thing on the way down. And those of you that are good with patterns, you can see that that's like head and shoulders. This is normally 5 waves, but it can be more. And we're waiting for it to break out the top and then to start the next impulse. Normally does something like that, and then goes off again. High. So that is impulse 1, that is a correction, and that is the impulse. So that is not a downtrend, that is a correction. Yeah, cool. Honestly, Chloe as well, I mean, anyone that's going to watch this back, Manny talks about this a lot, being where traders get confused, caught up, trapped when they start trading corrections thinking that they're downtrends or uptrends. That's why we've always said zoom out to get an overall view of the market direction. So if you have to use the 4-hour on GBPCHF and go back. All right, but you can see that that is clearly going down. I wouldn't go higher than the 4-hour because you're looking at like huge moves that are going to take months, maybe. So made it 100% retracement. Well, this is the high. This is hit 1, and yeah, it's made an equal high to hit 2. Bill, so again, in Manny's market mastery, he talks about the different types of entries. So this would be like an E1 entry where it pulls back to a previous high. It's not that my fondest entry. I prefer entry 2, which is the breakout, which it's doing right now. It's broken the flag. But it's broken the flag 1, 2, 3 times. So it's already burnt me twice. So I need it to be very obvious that this is now swinging down. I want it really to break this level. So come and break this low and then swing back up. So Tony, your question about the third hit. So remember, there's 3 different ways to identify a trend. The trend line is like the most basic. That's for like the novice. It's still very useful, don't get me wrong. But this is a line. You know, the market isn't perfect. Never going to respect that line every time. So it can also be a fib level. And it can be by sustaining lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and we've got a deep retracement. So when there's a deep retracement, that's normally when the banks are active. All right, that's when the banks are active. So when it pulls back really high, that's normally when you know, they're about to make a big move. So I just got caught in the correction twice. I could be completely wrong. This could be like a daily super cycle, they call it. I don't look at a super cycle because it takes too long for the trade to trigger, for the trade to play out. You need huge stop losses, way bigger targets. I'm looking at really an hour analysis, the 4 hours just to be able to see it on one screen. But I'm really looking at the hour charts, 4 hour maximum, and then those 15-minute entries. So we lost twice. GBPCHF. All right, Chloe. Yeah, it's a good question, and this just comes with practice and your eye. I mean, what I'm looking for is where's the swing low and where's the last swing high. So this is kind of like a range where you've got little highs in here that, you know, went and broke. This is quite a significant level in here. So you can see that the market before was, you know, trending down, broke the low. And I was waiting for this high to be broken, really, for it to be still like to be classed in an uptrend. So this was like a big correction, really. This whole move. I could be wrong. That's the way I see it, because this high wasn't taken. And then it started moving down again. So, you know, you can go back as far as you want to determine the trend. You can look at what that fib level is there. So look, bang on the 88% to banking level. And then it starts making its way down. So we're then trying to jump in this trade. So we're looking at how many swings it had. So the market moves in certain ways, certain patterns. And that one just beat us up a little bit. And he calls it taking a loss like a boss. You know, there's loads of cheesy ways to do it. We'll think about it. But, you know, if you do the same things over and over again, and it works 60% of the time, the 1 to 3 minimum risk reward ratio, you will be in the money. If your success rate is good and you're not making money, it's your risk reward. And if your success rate is not good, under 50%, and it's a skill thing, you're doing the trend wrong. So you can look back on your analysis and go, right, what am I doing wrong? Right, my success rate is 40%. I need to clean up on my trends. How do I identify a trend? Let's go through market structure again. Yeah, that's the how. Do you know the actions? That's the mechanics, the system that we've been working towards. Learn the trend, market mastery, market structure mastery. If you've got 70% success rate and you've only made 2%, then it's your risk reward. You're risking 1 to make 1.5, 1 to make 2. It's harder to make money. Your success rate has to be so much higher. So 1 to 3 risk reward, 50% plus success rate. You are in the money. Okay, in the money. All right. So I want to fast forward to this week. My mum's kept me busy, to be honest. Clara, I'll answer that quick. So the grand super cycle, the super cycle, these are how the markets move in different time frames. So this is on the Elliott Waves masterclass, or the Elliott Waves, what does he call it? Series, whatever, in his favorites. You know, there's cycles that happen on the 1 minute time frame. 5 minute, 15 hour, 4 hour. What we zone our focus in on is the 4 hour push, but the 1 hour and 15. 1 hour analysis, 15-minute entry. That's an intraday level. That means that your trade should be done within the week, and your risk reward still gets a really good, because we're entering early on the 15th. if you've got a 4 hour, just to really hone in on this, if you've got a 4 hour structure, then your entry really should be the 1 hour. Because you don't want to drop 2 time frames because it's not right. 4 hours, not an intraday level. So that could take weeks. It could take weeks for it to go and run to TP. So that might not be what you want to do. Again, if that is something that sounds attractive, then you need to test it. You need to do at least 20 trades where you're doing 4 hour, 1 hour entries and see what the results are like. You know, you've got to figure it out for your own style. But hey, let's fast forward to this week. So again, transparent, I'm down on my account. I had my payout the other week. So fresh account, first couple of trades, lost. Whatever. Been there, done it, anytime. So it comes to Monday, we're kind of mid-September. Now, what do I do? So first things first, we come to the harmonic scanner. So I spoke about how we get here in previous calls. You can type in harmonics.im and then log in, or you can go in through the IM Center. And we use Hot Forex 1 hour patterns. Okay, we've got some new ones. And this is us zooming out to see, well, what's the direction? What is the direction of the trend? AU, so AUD USD is the currency pair. The pattern is a crab. All of these should be going into your journal. So what pattern was it? It was a crab pattern. What I'm looking at is, look, if we're looking close, I can see a trend here. Broken and tested the other side. So what are we now in the downtrend? In a downtrend now. Is this a new trend? If that's the case, I definitely don't want to buy if we're in a new downtrend. But we're too close. We're way too close. What is going on? Again, my opinion, it's been sort of dropping since here. That was the peak. This month. Yeah, that's it. And that is pretty tidy. We've got 1 hit, 2 hits. I wouldn't count that as the third because this impulse didn't go and break the low. So this is the second hit. Second hit, it's making its way down. I would 1,000,000,000% not trade this in a buy. I'll be waiting for it to break the low. This might go up, even hit TP3, not interested. It might go up, hit TP2, not interested. I want it to come and break this low. Then we've got a trend line saying it's going down. We've then got lower low coming, lower high for the third hit. And then I'm looking for pull back up, lovely fib level at market structure. I'm looking for here. That could be, look where my cursor is. If that all goes to plan, that's the 7th of October. See at the bottom? So basically what I'm doing is I'm planning for success in the future. It's not now, but it could be in the future. Let's have a look if I've got this drawn up the same way. Embarrassing, isn't it? If it's not, thank God. Right, so I've got all this markup. I've been working on this for a while. I'm on the 4 hours, so 1. Yeah, so we've got corrections marked up. We've got the market structure reversal pointed. We've got the first hit, second hit. I'm waiting for the third. Yeah, this could be weeks, you know. All right. Cool. Not trading, definitely not buying that because I've already marked it up as a downtrend. That buy, the correction or part of this wave, but I don't want to get mixed up. I want to keep it super duper simple. Break the low, swing back for the third hit. Let's get some divergence, good fib level, you know, kind of looking at if it goes to where my line ends, like a 618, 786 level. Yeah. but definitely not want to buy it. Don't want to buy it. So when you start doing this, you'll rattle through these pairs real quick because your eye will just see it. It might take you a while to start with. So EJ. So you just move on to the next one. EJ, right? It's just called a buy. The market's called a buy. What is going on? Already know what. Okay, this is quite cool. So I'm just going to jump to the 4 hour so I can see more on my screen, which means the pattern will go. Perfect. I've got this drawn up 100%. So look, we did have lovely uptrend. A lovely uptrend. Big impulse, good pullback, huge impulse. Pullback with a stop hunt kind of thing, that's cool. And it never went to break the high. First indication that the market's about to move. So this then becomes the market structure reversal. Peak. We're then looking at what we got here. Let's come back down to the hour. Pattern comes back. Like that ain't perfect, but with it, we've got one hit. Again, if that lines up, that isn't the hit because this structure level wasn't broken. The market structure reversals here. So you've got highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, consolidation. Big push down, equal low. Equal the last high low. Here. Bounces off. Then it breaks it. Big rejection. And then see you later. Boom. Oh, that's what I want to see. At the top of a trend over. I'm not just going to break the low. I'm going to absolutely batter it. And I'll take out this one, this one, this one, this one, and then I'll pull back. Took out this one as well. Took out all the liquidity. Bosh. All these stop losses for the buys, all under here. It's just knocked them all out in like, you know, one swift, fast move. And then pulls back under, breaks the low again, pulls back up, breaks the low. That is your structure. We're now in a downtrend. Sweet. It's then correcting. I would never buy this in a million years again because this is a downtrend and it's calling a buy. Market may push up. It's not my trade. I want to be trading in the direction of the market only. And I want that trade to go and take out the next low. So again, similar to AU, I want this really to come and break the low, swing back underneath. We'll have our third hit. What was that, EJ? EJ, I've got it as a trending pair. And hey ho silver, we've got the first hit, we've got the second hit, we've got this just working its way down. This was a sell last week on the scanner. Second hit sell. The second hit's less probable, but it can be traded if you know what you're doing. Came up to a really nice fib area, lovely PRZ zone. I want to take a third hit over anything. So I'm more patient, wait for that to break the low, swing back under, same story as AU. We'll sell it when it's ready. EA Gartley, I love a Gartley. Love the fact that it's a Gartley sell. Right, straight away. Not in a month of Sundays. This is clearly making upward motions. There's also a second one in here. I did it. I've got this mark. I'll show you. Either that is an uptrend. Same old story. Let's have a look on the higher time frame. So it was coming down. It's now making its way back up. This push, taking out this high, and that's been just punched, literally just above it. So an equal high. before making it go down. We've got 1, potentially 2 if I manipulate that a little bit based on fib levels. The third here, I've had this line. I've been looking at this, waiting for it for weeks. So we've got EA. I am 1 billion% not selling this, but I'll be waiting for that third hit, wherever it comes. Come here, could come here. The structure everywhere. This structure is beautiful. It's at a 127 extension. And hit, 618, 127 extension. Yes, please. It's pretty much exactly what we look for. We'll then look for divergence, hidden divergence from here to here, and we'll get cooking on. EA, no, don't want it. GCAT, and this is what I do. This is literally what I do. If I find 1 to 2 trades a week, that's what people struggle to get over. 1 to 2 trades a week, not a day, a week. Most of the time I'm going, no, don't like it. No, really picky. Really, really picky. Don't want any old thing. I want the best. This one, straight away, just looking at it, it's disgusting. It's basically moving sideways. You've got highs here, you've got lows, it's in a range. But this whole, I don't even need to look further back. Whole thing, the box between that high and that low, it's just punched above it. So definitely not our strategy. CAD, this is it. It gets boring. Should be. Low. You can clearly see it moving up. Got a bit messy here, but what's going on? Well, we've got, these are the significant highs. Yeah, over here. Got a big push down, got a big ramp back up, a small retracement, then a big push. That this next push came up to nearly the highs, but took out, it's already taken out all this in the last 2 pushes, retraced down, and then see you later, bang, it's taken out all these highs. That's your trend switch. And then we're looking for, this looks quite good actually. Bang, we've cleared the high. Lows are not, this is the swing low, the lows have not been taken. This is one big correction. All of this is a correction. You need to kind of work out when it's going to end. So that's when you do your market patterns. He talks about it in boot camp. Talks about it a lot on his calls. He's looking at wedges, flags, all this sort of stuff. Is there anything in here that we're kind of looking at? Well, that's kind of a bit of a wedge going on. It's come out of the wedge. So the wedge was, that spike below the trend line was the end of the correction. Happy days. I'm going to run this high, the corrective high. This is nice. All right, it's too late. So lovely. So this is really good for analysis actually, because we've got lovely structure. We've got a correction that's finished. We get an impulse. The scanner calls a buy, literally, on the line. And it's hit TP3 in like 5 candles. So that's a nice one. I definitely missed that. When was that? That was today at 3. Brilliant. I blame my mum. She was making me build a wall. Thank you. Thank you, mum. But I'd be looking anyway to take this above this high. Like if we've got, how many hits? I've got this drawn up. The USD cat. Like, maybe not. I don't know what I'm doing there. Take too long to do on that. Yeah, so you can see the structure is good. Scanner calls a buy. I'd be looking to take out this thing. How many hits have we got? We've got the origin. Right, none of these hits in here. I wouldn't count any of these hits. But then this is why. So these are the highs that need to be run before I would call it a hit. So this is all part of the corrections. You've got, it's just bumbling around. This is all the same move. Bang, it takes the high. So you're up and it's probably there. This thing gets sloppy. That's your next swing low. Let's do this. So your next swing low is like here. Right, that's broken. The more I look at that, the more it is not making a pretty picture. It looks good to start with. So this can happen too. You can just go through a chart and you can go, right, yeah, it looks really nice, but is it now flipping over? And anytime you get that sort of not sure, do what your gut tells you, which my gut tells me here now, that has now broken the trend and there'll be a new trend starting. And I'll just watch it. Did I get it right or was I wrong? If I was wrong, right, why? I'll go into it in more detail. So once you start getting further down, these trades have already been and gone. So you can just use them for analysis. Again, that's a big old push up, looking for a sell. No, thank you. Again, it's not trending. I want a third hit, trending. Jeff. Look. Data on the screen on the 1, so let's look on the 4. All right, so I know a couple of you are looking at this today. Well, so you can see that again, yeah, it's been going down. Please load. No. Okay. Well, at least from here, which is April, 29th of April. It's swinging below the lows, pulling back, breaking the lows, pulling back, breaking the lows. Bit of a smart money move there if you know what you're doing. Breaking the lows, up, breaking the lows. We've got lower low, that's the swing high, kind of lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. I guess a little confusing here because of this correction, but it's still above this last swing high. Down. The only thing I don't like is this. Like before it comes and hits. So I don't know where the, so I'll probably end on this one. Let's do it. So I've got this. Look, this is a 1 because by the time, I know. So it's down and broken the low, pull back, second hit, broken the low, pulling back, third hit. That's the one I would want. Or this one. Also, this didn't go after the third hit. This did not go and break this low. Oh, yeah. I want this level to be taken out by my third hit. It hasn't. I would not want to be selling that now. Nope, nope. So, new chef. It's annoying to film. All right, we'll do it on the 4. This did not break the low. Yeah, that's the first sign that the market's going to reverse. So I've now got it in the, you see this channel? So I've drawn the line from the low to then the failed swing low. I've pulled out a little line. So at the moment, this is just in a range and it's running out of room. Can you see that? It's running out of room. If this goes and then bang, takes the high, then we get a swing down. We've then got the second hit. on this new uptrend. So let's change that to blue. Or we get a trend switch in here, market structure reversal, bosh, second hit. I'm waiting for the third hit. So let's get that marked red because it is. Step by step, we look at the scanner. The scanner is a reversal indicator scanner. It's got built-in Elliott waves, fib levels, opportunities to seek divergence. It's got so many factors that are involved. I don't know all of it either, but it spots reversals in the market due to market geometry. Now, some reversals are pullbacks, corrections, whatever you want to call it. Some are continuations. We are just looking for the continuation, with the trend. That is it. There'll be more corrections than there are trending because the corrections seem to be longer. So you need to spot them. To do that, you need to be very friendly with your market pattern. Okay. These little beauties. You need to know what an ascending triangle is, how to spot it. It then shows you if it comes in from the bottom. It will normally make these many waves, and then break the top. The top's flat. Retest the outside and go. So that's your correction. Sorry, that's a continuation because it came in from the bottom, goes out the top, still going up. Same again. We've got continuation. We've got continuation. Continuation. We've got continuation. 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 Reversal. Market structure reversal. Double bottom reversal. Triple bottom reversal. Reversal. We've got the flags that we've been talking about. That's a continuation. 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 But you need to know this. Exotic chart patterns. It's a new one. So you've got the head and shoulders reversal. You've got the inverted, so the other way. Got the handle. You don't need to go, oh, I know that's a cup and handle, or I see this, I see that. It's not really about that. It's about spotting. Obviously, you want to get to that level, but you want to spot the third hit and see why it's coming back to that trend line. So here we had, I don't know what so you got kind of something like this, just an expanding triangle. That looks like a flag, not the cleanest. Expanding. Yeah, some of it's a bit of a guesswork, if I'm honest, but you've got like the inverted head and shoulders, reversal, and then you see that there? So you got right shoulder, head, left shoulder, because they're upside down, break, retest, gone, and then an expanding triangle. That's normally 5 waves, and then break. So you just want to familiarize yourself with this sort of pattern strategy. I've realized I've now been talking flat out for an hour, so you're probably all bored of me. But that, honestly, guys, that is literally what I do. I just flick through the scanner, nothing's there, I get on with my day. I go for a run, go for a swim, help build wardrobes with my mum. She only gave me 2 cups of coffee, can you believe it? I was there all day. Liberty, no, I'm joking. But that is my life. When the scanner wasn't working, because it had that bit of downtime, and I just go through my charts and I'm trying to find a third hit. Where's my third hit? We've got a third hit. Give me a third hit. No, right. That third hit went off. Now it's broken the trend. We've got a new market structure reversal. Right, so this is going to be a long time before we can trade because it's not going to produce a third hit. But you can, once you master market structure and geometry, the world's your oyster. When you combine that with what the scanner does, It's kind of unfair. The game is kind of over. Alrighty. So, anyone got any questions? My throat hurts. Anyone got any questions about that? So, whilst you're thinking, whilst you're typing, whatever you want to do, we talked about mindset in quite a lot of detail tonight. It is vitally important. It's the difference between winning and losing in a career of trading. You have to be able to master your mind. You've got to be able to master the strategy, learn new skills, learn more about yourself. Think about being a professional trader. I want you to do that every day, at least 90 seconds a day, if not all the time. What's it going to feel like when I'm funded? Am I going to feel powerful? I'm going to feel like elite. You know, to get into our group where we're all funded, it's called Fastrack Elite. Like, we are elite. I've said elite again. So yeah, do that over and over and over again. The system's in there. Trust the process. We've then dived into charts, which I love. It's literally, absolutely love doing it. And I'm learning every day, as I'm sure all of you are. So I'll give it another 10 seconds or so for any questions. I'm going to turn the recording off now. If you haven't got any questions, thank you very much again for all your input tonight. Thank you very much for, you know, what our group has, by the way, is so special. Like, use the groups. The people in there are phenomenal. And thanks to those of you that do. We've got a question coming in from Tony. Do I ever take shorter term trades? I do not. That is called scalping. So there's a difference. What we're trying to do is kind of swing. It's like intraday swing. So you want your, ideally you want your trade done in a couple of days maximum. So when your risk rewards, what we look at, might take a few days to play out. It might take a week or a bit longer. But those shorter term trades are more volatile, they're more wicky. The structure is not as solid, so the trend lines break easily. They're less resilient. You have to trade more basically to get the results. So for freedom, time freedom, scalping for me didn't suit me. I might have been doing it wrong. I don't know, but this is how I do it. But technically, what we do, you just do that on a lower time frame. And you know, if you find that your results are good, then that might suit your style. So, you know, this is just the way I do it. You know, you don't have to copy me. It's just the way I found it successful. But yeah, so good question. So the question is, so you have a bigger gap for stop loss and take profit. So the stop loss and take profit is always governed by the structure. So if this goes off and, you know, we were wanting to buy this and it triggers here, yeah, say there's candles in the future and it triggers there, then our stop loss is below this low. So on an hour, or, you know, when it's hit the DC channel and is triggering, you know, we're looking at something like that. So, you know, nicely a 1 to 3 by pure chance. Where if you're scalping, you're looking just above this high, then your risk rewards rubbish. And you know, you might get in here, so your stop loss is low, but then because you're using a 15-minute structure, it might just turn around and knock you out. So unless you're really, really good and you know what you're doing, you know, the 1 hour structure is more reliable than a 15-minute. Hence why we use it. That's come from months and months and months of data journaling. So feel free to, you know, to go through it yourself, no qualms. But yeah, just be prepared that it's a lengthy process to test a strategy and a time frame and the way you risk your profile and all that stuff. Yeah, it's not overnight. It does take a long, long time. Yeah, some amazing questions, guys. Thank you very much for all your input, as always. Keep working hard, keep watching the videos. The how is kind of already in there. but think about being funded all the time. Please do it every single day. I'm funded, I'm funded, I'm funded. My goals and dreams are coming true, and trading's helping me get there. Yeah, trading's helping me get there. Amazing. Amazing. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now. So again, thank you so much for all joining the session tonight. Until next week, I will see you then. If you need anything in the meantime, let me know. Guys watching this back, any questions, let me know. But if not, I'll see you all very soon.